Hello everyone, I'm Ausyellow. Welcome back to Formula Pool, race number 3 in Yas Marina. That is the wrong button. In Yas Marina, Metro Gato this time, I don't think I said that at the end of the last race, will be in pole position, in very last place. Kitty Softpaws is current pole sitter, followed by Tuxedo Noki and Max Verstappen. Anyway, let's get this race underway. Kitty Softpaws, followed by Tuxedo Noki, Max Verstappen, and Person Senna doing very good for Lotus Whiskers, Sally Snowball, Angel Frost, Bark Louder, Oliver Behrman, Willow Wolf, 2 race winners there, Sebastian Vettel, Nelson Puckett, Jake Villeneuve, Michael Schumacher, Phoebe Fittipaldi, Roxy Tundra, Lewis Ham, Fernando Alonso, Whisper Wolf, Alan Post, Cody Iris, Nigel Barksall, and of course Matt Regatta. Alright, I kind of want to get this race sort of out of the way, because I had nothing better to do. I'm not too sure about the microphone quality, but obviously we'll get that sorted out in the future. And it is lights out, and away we go. Kitty Softpaws has a good start, being the only driver on medium tyres until Lewis Ham, who's on hard tyres. Horst and Iris are on medium tyres at the very back. And by the looks of things, Max Verstappen is looking for a better position up there and can certainly get past. Managed to get, and actually has the inside line and leads the race by the start of the very long straight. Started 3rd place, is currently in 1st. Sally Snowball fights back and takes the lead, probably with aid of ERS. Softpaws has basically dropped 3 positions as a result of that, and that is an incredible performance from the Racing Paw. Alan Post, previous race for Lotus, scored in the last race for them, I think. Jake Villeneuve overtook Lewis Ham with the inside line to the next corner. There's Schumacher and Gatto. Gatto is all the way up into P13 already. We have eyes on Schumacher here. Might want to have more eyes on Gatto, who has the inside line and is trying to pass Oliver Behrman, and appears to have done so. I'm going to keep an eye on Gatto, actually. Gatto is fighting around P12, 13 and 14, also against his teammate as well, Michael Schumacher, but he appears to be in P12 and staying there. Sally Snowball with the fastest first sector. It's about time that the Racing Paw of Sally Snowball actually started getting incredible amounts of points. I'm surprised it's taken this long. Here's Phoebe Fittipaldi on the inside of Jake Villeneuve up into P16. It is incredibly difficult to commentate 700 cars overtaking each other all at the same time. We still haven't witnessed a massive crash yet, but in a way that's sort of a good thing. But the drivers don't care if they crash, they're not going to die or anything like that in this scenario. Look at that gap. Bark Louder for Barclaren actually getting the first set of points for Barclaren. Nelson Puckett as well is in the points, scoring points for Wolf Williams. There's a huge gap between Bark Louder and Max Verstappen. That's probably because of just Softpaws, really. Sebastian Vettel diving up the inside, up to P7, overtaking the Renhout. Fastest out goes to Max Verstappen, then Sebastian Vettel, now Macho Gatto. Both Pero Rojo are in the points, as well as both the Racing Paws. Honestly, I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner, in a way. Angel Frost. Where's Tundra's Wifton Martin? Yeah. Oh my goodness. Person Senna making the move on Kitty Softpaws up into P3. Where's Louder? Louder is in P10. Louder's dropping back. What in the world has happened? That looks like a puncture. Yeah, puncture in the rear left tyre. Points for Barclaren disappeared on lap number 3 with an unfortunate puncture that happened somewhere. I'm pretty sure Bark Lauder is way out of contention now. Goldie Iris also seems to be out of contention on the medium tyres, unless the strategy is somehow massively overpowered here. For soft paws, it appears to be working though. Soft paws is able to hold on to a decent position up at the very top of the grid. There is Shoe Snacker in the points. Surprising that Gatto is not, yet at least. Koenigseggs really not having the best time around here. Granted, they are in the lead of the current Constructors' Championship. Person Senna with the fastest lap there. They are in the lead of the Constructors' Championship. I seriously do not think they're going to hold on to it for that long. Regardless, Oliver Behrman against Macho Gatto, yeah, that is Behrman, had the better line and up into P12 there, causing Gatto to have some issues, but Shoe Snacker is doing an incredible job for Ferraris just as it is, and assuming that Gatto's differential setup will get him into the points, Ferrari are looking at a really good collection of points here. Unfortunately, the pit exit does not go under the track in this particular layout. It's really unfortunate, missed opportunity, but it doesn't really matter anyway. Up the inside, Tuxedo Noki is up into P4. Took that away from Kitty Softpaws, the current the pole sitter. He just lost 4 positions as a result of starting on medium tyres. That was a little bit aggressive for Fernando Alonso. Hasn't scored this season as of yet. That was a bit aggressive going onto the curb. Tuxedo Noki sets fastest lap. Fernando Alonso going onto the curb there, or like the edge of the track, sort of brings to mind what happened to Bark Lauder. Speaking of which, Bark Lauder has pitted, and as the lead drivers enter the second sector, Bark Lauder isn't even out of the second sector yet. He's having a horrible race. It's unfortunate for him. This right here is Phoebe Fittipaldi with DRS wide open. Tuxedo Noki making the move on Purton Senna for the podium. It is a double podium for the Racing Paws. Racing Paws, I think, are going to win just the overall Constructors' Championship, because look at this. They have a combined team skill of 20 even. There's Bark Lauder with the fastest third sector. That being said, the Koenigseggs haven't had their last place starting thing yet, meaning that they get a really good chance of getting on the podium based on the current data set that we have. But neither have the Racing Paws. In fact, it is literally just Tailwind Racing who have started last, and on both occasions it paid out really well from them, getting second and first place respectively in 2 races, back to back as well. But the current data shows that is the case. I doubt that will be the case here. We are in forced dry climate as well, because it is Abu Dhabi, sort of what you would expect here. I also heard somewhere that the Emirates are using drones to cause the clouds to rain. There goes Sebastian Vettel ahead of Tuxedo Noki. And also Kitty Softpaws up into P4. Purton Senna is able to hold on to the podium for now. That is quite an entertaining battle between the top 6 drivers. So, yeah, I mean, if the Emirates are able to induce rain by having drones in the clouds, then they could make the F1 races more interesting by having... oh, wow, that was wide for Sally Snowball, who was in second place. If they were able to induce rain, that would make the F1 races much more interesting in the Arab areas. But I mean, do we want the tracks to be wet? I don't know. It is quite nice to have tracks that will always be dry, I guess. It is a little bit unfortunate that Francorchamps sometimes is not usually completely dry. It is a nice scenery, I think, when it is dry, or at least a dry track. So Max Verstappen currently leading the race. Literally, like, I was going to say, neither of them have race victories. Yes, we've only had 2 races, so only Willow and Behrman have race wins as of now, and Snowball regains P1, but you can see the just instant boost of speed from DRS. Max Verstappen manages to take that back. They might be swapping back and forth every so often here, and there goes Sebastian Vettel at the inside of Purton Senna. It looks like it's a Pero Rojo double podium. Pero Rojo and Racing Paw, I thought, were going to be the leaders in the Constructors' Championship, but they're certainly showing in this race, at least, that they want to be. Right. Jake Villeneuve jostling for position against Nigel Barksall. That did open the door for Phoebe Fittipaldi to get past Villeneuve. And also ahead of Barksall, Villeneuve might be able to make the move. As a result of that, there is Alain Post's huge gap between Lewis Ham and Alain Post, completely ignoring Bart Lauder, who's just come out of the second sector. It was that Goldie Iris up into P17. I think we're at a state where soft and medium tyres aren't all that different, but that might start changing eventually, and the Barclouds are really hoping that it's going to change for them as soon as possible. Wolf Williams and Barclaren are the only 2 teams to not score points as of yet. Wolf Williams seem to be in the points, and Sebastian Vettel trying to make the move on Purton Senna, who's holding very strong there. Wolf Williams currently in the points. Will be in the points, assuming that they finish the race in this current position. Nelson Puckett is in P7, hence why. Jake Villeneuve, inside line on Whisper. No, was that Whisper Wolf? No, that was Fernando Alonso, I think. Yeah, it must be. I'm very tired of. Why am I complaining? I don't know. I mean, I haven't done much today. I've been editing some videos. I should probably continue editing videos, but I kind of want to stick around for this race because I have loads of statistics to do in this race. I might actually just start editing tomorrow until Brandon shows up. And up into P17 once again goes Goldie Iris. Chronixalg of Whisper Wolf hasn't moved that much. Willow Wolf is in the points, but just barely. And here is Snowball jostling for P1, or at least trying to get up into the top spot of the podium. It was a Racing Paw 1-2, and now it's Pero Rojo. Well, a double podium for Racing Paw now. It's a Pero Rojo double podium. I also find it a little strange how Bart Lauder has gone on to medium tyres as opposed to something like soft tyres, or maybe even hard tyres. You might be able to do something with that, I guess. But after having a massive puncher, if they could retire the car, they probably would. Because I know if I were in that situation, I would. The race was completely ruined, unless, of course, there's a safety car. So that's one thing you can hope. And even then, if there is a safety car, how many positions are you going to gain? Because people can pit and come out ahead of Bart Clouder. I think I will need to check the timing on that. Goldie Iris may be eyeing up the move on Whisper. No, they're too far apart. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of this track either, because of just the sheer amount of chicanes at the start and at the end of each of the straights, and completely just ignored by the AI camera. Sally Snowball up into P1. Max Verstappen is unable to respond, but probably will be able to fight back later. It's been the two of them fighting for the victory. And then, like, how many other drivers? 4? 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 4 other drivers behind, just fighting, just jostling for a better position. Not that far apart from each other either. Willow Wolf is up into P8. There's been some battling going on with Schumacher and Frost. Here's Verstappen entering the very long straight. I didn't check the timing for Dark Cloud. I'm probably not going to check it on this lap as well. Max Verstappen on the inside line, and up into P1 once again. I mean, like, this is the kind of race we want to see, jostling backwards and forwards between P1. You have absolutely no idea who's going to win, as opposed to someone completely dominating the race. A little bit like Oliver Behrman did, and like Lewis Ham, and it was Whisper Wolf as well in the previous race. That gap between Lauda and Lewis Ham is a pitiable gap, by the way. So yeah, Lauda is in a horrible position. Even under safety car, probably won't be able to gain that many positions after the fact, assuming that drivers don't pit. But I mean, then again, you need the safety car to happen. Right now we have Tundra and Frost. It's Tundra and Fittipaldi that are in Woofton Martin, and it's Frost and Alonso who are in Venhout. I cannot, for some reason, remember that fact. I can remember clearly, without confusing anything, the position of any other driver in any other team. I just cannot remember Woofton Martin and Venhout. I don't know why. I also had a bit of difficulty with Wolf Williams, but that's sort of mastered now. God, I need to drink so much water, and actually I'm running out of water. We're not even halfway through the race, and this 2-litre bottle that I started today, didn't drink that much of it, but I've started drinking a fair bit now, and it's approaching the halfway full mark, or halfway empty mark, however you want to look at it. So I'm not in the best situation. I'm surprised no one else has gotten another puncture, because, well, then again, Barclouder's rear right tyre blew up, whereas here the drivers are degrading massively, the left tyres. There is Whisper Wolf fighting the Wolf Williams even. Oh, here we are, another error. But the last two, no avail. Alan Prost, whose teammate's going to get tons of points this race, which would be great for Lotus Whiskers. Prost is currently in P20 out of 22. Metro Gato. Let's see, we switched him out. Now Fernando Alonso. Waiting for something interesting to happen. I mean, like, oh my, another one. We completely missed the overtake up front. Sally Snowball is up into P1. The drivers aren't trying to shake off the other drivers or actively defending drivers approaching on DRS, but I think on that second not so straight DRS straight, it's incredibly difficult for the AI to actually make an overtake. And right there, Tuxedo Noki is ahead of the pack of 4. Pack, literally pun intended, and is going to make it a Racing Poor double podium. Willow is also seriously fighting against the Wolf Williams. It's Klonigzog versus Wolf Williams here. 5-second time penalty to Goldie Iris for some collision somewhere. Oh, and up the inside goes Goldie Iris on Whisper Wolf, but Whisper might have the inside line in the final corner, but certainly not in the exit corner. Goldie Iris up to P16. That has also not helped Barclaren's cause there. Gap between Puckett and Soft Paws is shrinking. They're probably not in complete battle range as of now. Sebastian Vettel moves up into P3, making it now a double Perrojo podium. I do have another bottle of, it's a 2-litre bottle of Dr. Pepper, which I can use, but it's a new bottle as well, so drinking it, I'm a little bit worried with drinking it because of all the carbonation and stuff. Whisper Wolf back up into P16. Fernando Alonso into P17 as well after overtaking Goldie Iris, and Alonso up into P16 as well. Managed to get past Whisper, but Whisper is able to fight it off and takes P15 from Nigel Barksall. Alonso has the inside line, however, but won't have it in these corners, which apparently were adjusted ever so slightly to make the track, better for the drivers. There's actually like 3 sections that were made better. There's the giant hairpin. That used to be an even tighter hairpin. Now it's a piece of a pizza looking corner. In like the bottom left of the mini map, there used to be another chicane at the end of the DRS zone, and then the area by the hotel, they apparently adjusted that, but I couldn't see a difference. I mean, I don't mind which track variation we use. The track is still rubbish, no matter what. That's what I think. And I've driven around this track in monocoastal, obviously. I haven't driven around it in real life. And there goes Purton Senna up into P3. The only driver who has not touched podium position for a while now is Kitty Softpaws. Or has at least tried to. The medium tyre should hopefully kick in eventually. Pedro Rojo, Max Verstappen sees the inside line there. We'll have the inside line on the final 2 corners. But that doesn't seem enough as they go underneath the hotel looking thing. I mean, to be honest, the hotel architecture, in my opinion, looks a little bit like an airport architecture or like the airport. I'm thinking of Gatwick Airport here in UK, or London Gatwick even. And just like that, Purton Senna is at the very back of the pack, making Sebastian Vettel lead it. And as a result of this gap and constant destructive interference, it has made a bit of a large gap, but we can't really determine where Snowball and Verstappen pitting, where they will come out on. Willow is up into P7. I'm going to swap over to Willow now, and might actually begin fighting Softpaws. Lewis Ham sets the first sector somehow. Yeah, Willow is going to start fighting, or should hopefully start fighting Softpaws and that pack after breaking free of Nelson Puckett. Puckett, however, has fallen behind Shoesnacker and is moving towards the edge of the points here. A point will be awarded for pole position to Kitty Softpaws, by the way. That's always how it's been done. As of now, Tuxedo Noki will take the fastest lap point, but that's all subject to change, especially on the last lap. It usually always happens on the last lap. Usually always? That's a contradiction. The data suggests that the fastest lap is usually taken on the last lap. Given that we've only had 2 races, we don't have the biggest data set in the world. In fact, it is a horrible data set if you ask me, because it's way too small. And with the inside position, Horst is not able to overtake Whisper, who had the inside position, by the way. Whisper's not having the greatest race by comparison to the previous one, but I think Lewis Ham helped out an awful lot there. Tuxedo Noki making it a Racing Poor double podium, in which Sally Snowball has fallen off a little bit and is no longer in P1. Willow Wolf yet to commence, or well, yet to start sparring for a better position other than P7. Willow Wolf is, or doesn't really need to defend because the gap is large enough, but also Sebastian Vettel doesn't need to defend as a result because the gap is still quite large. Is Softpaws. Softpaws can actually start fighting now. The medium tyres appear to be stronger than the soft tyres. It's all a matter of who's going to pit first, Verstappen or Softpaws. And even then, I have no idea because Imola was a huge just confusion of what happened after the pit stops. Here's Sebastian Vettel on Ayrton Senna up into P5, or at least tried to get up into P5. There's Whisper in the background. Where's Whisper in there? Whisper is not in DRS range, however. Unfortunate for the Klornigsags there. That might have really ruined what they were trying to do, but Tundra is looking ever so closer to Willow. Probably is going to prevent Willow from getting good positions or having a good battle, at least. Regardless, here's Ayrton Senna. Oh my goodness, Ayrton Senna is in an incredibly tight battle with Kitty's Softpaws. Oh my goodness, that was so close. It was so close to contact there just before heading underneath the hotel. Okay. And that's Sebastian Vettel, the first driver into the pits, changing from soft tyres to, in this case, medium tyres, and she'll be last as a result of this. Tuxedo Noki leads the little pack. There's Roxy Tundra up into P6, and that might also allow... No, wait a minute. Willow, once again, does not have DRS. Is Willow's car, really damaged? No. It might have just been rotten luck there for Willow. First race winner, actually, in Imola. Sebastian Vettel is currently out of the pit window of Max Verstappen, current race leader, because for some reason the AI camera had better things to do than show us who's going to take the lead of the race. I wonder if any of the top two drivers are going to pit. I've absolutely no idea. No, wait a minute. It was the right-hand tyre. Yeah, but then that doesn't explain anything about the hotel. Anyway, Matrogato finally in the points, getting double points for Ferrari. Sally Snowball is in the pits, pitting first between Verstappen. I mean, you pit first, you get track position first. There's and also Fernando Alonso goes into the pits. Snowball comes out ahead of Lewis Ham, for now at least. Yeah, pitting first gives you track position, but pitting afterwards gives you ever so slightly better tyres. 5-second time penalty for Jake Villeneuve. Have we had a race where Jake Villeneuve has not gotten a 5-second time penalty yet? I mean, this is outrageous, but it hasn't caused anything negative. Ayrton Senna is in P2 now. Tuxedo Noki is in P3. There's a gap between Wifton, Martin and Klornigssag. Look at that! Ayrton Senna got completely destroyed by Kitty Softpaws and Tuxedo Noki. Softpaws is up into P2. And that is Sally Snowball ahead of Whisper Wolf. No. Yes, Whisper Wolf. Up into P14. That's just the power of newer tyres, I guess. Ayrton Senna is holding on. That's Tuxedo Noki in the pits. I only just caught that. as of right now, it appears. Oh, and Angel Frost is in the pit. As of right now, it appears to be, if we ignore Bart Lauda, a Pero Rojo sandwich. Sebastian Vettel, I think, and Fernando Alonso. Oh no, Fernando! I didn't see him because he's got the grey colour. Was that Whisper Wolf? Yeah, Whisper Wolf is in the pits, as well as Jake Villeneuve. You can't take time penalties in the pits, annoyingly. I don't know why that's a thing. The gap between soft paws and Verstappen is, or at least it appears to be, closing. Although we don't have much evidence to suggest that. I am recording. Right. Ah, right. A human being who knows how to shut a door. That's a surprise. Sally Snowball, P11. I didn't really have anything to say then. And is now up into the points after overtaking previous race winner Oliver Behrman. I think that Macho Gatto will have one hell of a fight if Gatto is going to go from last to first here. So evidence is pointing slightly against the sheer power of starting last. Max Verstappen is in P15 after pitting for medium tyres. I also missed that as well. There's Sebastian Vettel, who was the first of all the drivers to pit. DRS wide open, no one ahead, but probably made an overtake. And there goes Max Verstappen on the inside of Lewis Ham. It is 12 and 13 for Pero Rojo as of right now. I don't think that the medium tyre Kitty's soft paws will last or do that well. Anyway, we have soft paws, Senna, Tundra, Willow, Shoesnacker, Snowball, Gatto, Fittipaldi, Puckett, and Iris. Iris is in the points, but won't be because of the 5-second time penalty, and also needing to pit. Burton Senna is in the pits. And here we have another Barclaren doing incredible things for now. You just have to wonder where the Barclaren will come as a result of pitting. I haven't a clue, to be honest. I mean, they could come anywhere. Here is Snowball against Willow and Tundra as of right now, maybe even Shoesnacker. There's Alan Porce diving up the inside of Tuxedo Noki. This is a battle that will probably continue further down the line. Cutting back over to Snowball, who almost just crashed into the back of Tundra. Willow Wolf is in P2 as of right now, but probably won't be for much longer. Running very wide there is Snowball, who is right on the back of Michael Shoesnacker, and with the outside line on the last two corners is only just up into P3. Snowball will have the inside line into the first corner, but it doesn't really matter anymore. Oliver Behrman is in the pits. There's Tuxedo Noki and there's Ham, bringing her up into P13. And is that a battle between Willow Wolf and Sally Snowball? Yes, it is, with Snowball coming up in P2. Sebastian Vettel is really far ahead of Max Verstappen, so unless the two Pedro Rojos swap over, this pitting hasn't worked in Verstappen's favour. Sebastian Vettel fighting against Roxy Tundra up here. We'll cut over to this right now. And Sebastian Vettel is up into P4 and trying to get into P3 ahead of the Koenigsegg with the outside line. Just look at that incredible level of grip with the inside line in the final two corners. That is a definite entry to the podium. Here's Sally Snowball. Roxy Tundra is in the pits. Yes, definitely. Michael Schumacher is also in the pits. Willow should have gone into the pits as well. Keeping it out an extra lap might not do so well, but it will probably keep Max Verstappen behind a little bit and hinder his race. Inside on the hairpin into the beginning of the first DRS zone goes Sally Snowball. And Sally Snowball is back up into the lead of the race. The pole sitter, Kitty Softpaws, was not able to really hold on. That's just because of the newer medium tyres. I don't even think Softpaws will be in DRS range for the next DRS zone, which is unfortunate for Mercedes Petronas, who haven't been doing the best. Actually, I have the stats in front of me and I should probably read them. Yeah, here we are. Mercedes Petronas, they haven't really been doing the best. Lewis Ham had an unfortunate turnout in both of the races. Kitty Softpaws did much better in race number 2, Melbourne. And that's just about it for Mercedes Petronas. They are currently tied with Ferrari, and by the looks of things, Ferrari are going to be doing big things in this. Well, actually, that being said, Gatto, who's yet to pit, is in P8, and Schumacher is in P21, who has pitted, but I think that's only just pitted. Willow is still staying out. Should really get rid of them soft tyres because they're not doing too well as of now. Angel Frost is trying to go up the inside of, was that Macho Gatto? Yeah, that's got to be Gatto. And might actually be able to overtake Goldie Iris as well, who's been on very old medium tyres. Max Verstappen versus Kitty Softpaws. Verstappen with the outside of the entire second sector by the looks of things there, is up into P3, making it a double podium once again for Pedro Rojo. We just need to see what's going to happen between the two Pedro Rojos. Will Verstappen get P2 or will Verstappen stay in P3? And how will that work with Sally Snowball? Sebastian Vettel was the first to pit. And Max Verstappen was quite late to pitting, to be honest. Pitted after Snowball, and Schumacher is up into P21, which doesn't really mean much. Nelson Puckett, I think, might have ruined his race, but is in the pits. Finally, Willow Wolf is also in the pits. When two drivers going into the pits, they should have pitted earlier, to be honest, but I think that they're looking for better performance in the medium tyres. Is that going to bode well for them? I hope so. For both of them. Whisper is one position behind Gatto and one position out of the points for now, but with DRS wide open and on fresher tyres, that seems to be an instant point grab for the Koenigsegg, but without DRS for some weird reason. Whisper Wolf is not able to take the position. Why haven't the Koenigsegg been using DRS? It doesn't make any sense. Unless they've just been missing the DRS zones, then that would make perfect sense. Whisper Wolf up into P10 in the points, getting more points for Koenigsegg. Probably not going to be, well, actually it might be enough they almost have, well, actually they have more than double the points of Racing Paw for now. I mean, like, that might seem like a lot, but we've only just started the season. Klonexaga on 51, Racing Paw on 24. There's Person Senna and Angel Frost, two drivers who pitted at about the same time, or needed to pit at the same time. That was incredibly dangerous there from, let's not guess, that was Fittipaldi there. Yeah, that was incredibly dangerous, cutting in front of another driver to pit. That actually happened to me once, and a driver ended up flying out of the track. It was a horrible crash. Whisper Wolf on the inside of Goldie Iris gets the position and is actually able to use DRS there. Fernando Alonso in the points as well for the first time, I think, in the entire season. Fernando Alonso hasn't been hasn't been enjoying the season so well. Purton Senna falling down a couple positions. Tuxedo Noki is in P3. Why is Tuxedo Noki in P3? What happened to... Wait a minute, what happened to Sally Snowball? Sally Snowball has also got a puncture on the rear right. That doesn't make any sense. Sebastian Vettel is leading in Yas Marina, or in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The track is called Yas Marina, and it is a Pero Rojo 1-2. This has never happened before, and actually I think... And that is a huge collision between Nelson Puckett, who might have just ruined Wolf Williams' chance of getting points. There was a yellow flag for a second then. A huge collision between Puckett and former massive race leader, dominant race leader, Sally Snowball, who has unfortunately suffered the same fate as Bark Lauder. No safety car or severe action required. There's Person Senna ahead of Fernando Alonso for now. No idea how this race is going to change or develop, or if anyone is going to be able to overtake the Pero Rojo, who are currently in what position is that? P8 in the grid, because they only started scoring points in the previous race. There's Lewis Ham. Currently holding on to P10 with the hard tyres. 5-second time penalty actually to Nelson Puckett. I think Puckett's race is ruined for Wolf Williams. The two teams who wanted points but was unable to get any in the last few races still probably won't come out with points in this race, them being Bark Lauder, who's had a horrible turnout with Bark Lauder, and also Nelson Puckett as well, who is sort of in a similar position, but who didn't suffer a puncture there. Sally Snowball is actually dead last as a result of the puncture. And up the inside of Person Senna goes Fernando Alonso up into P6. Whisper Wolf might actually be within striking range. Whisper Wolf was one of the early pitters for medium tyres, I believe, and that has boded well. Teammate Willow Wolf is quite far out of the points for now. There's Nelson Puckett on newly pitted Goldie Iris, who has the soft tyres. We have 58 laps. I think it's the same number of laps as it was in the previous race. And fighting, actually Max Verstappen is currently leading the race. Fighting for the top spot is Sebastian Vettel. No idea how that's going to turn out for both the Pero Rojos. If anything, they do not want a puncture or a collision. I'm going to win what actually paused. I'm going to watch from Paul's perspective just to see if or like where the drivers could be losing or like damaging the tyres severely, because two cars have had punctures in the exact same spot, and I thought it would have been the left-hand side, because of like that corner, and also the corner by the hotel. I'm also going to keep an eye on everything else that's going on in the race, just to make sure like I don't miss some crash or some very important overtake. That is Macho Gatto ahead of Alan Prost. I mean, it could be some overtaking issue because they were like pretty active cars that experienced punctures. DRS is wide open on Alan Prost's car. The only reason why I chose Prost was because Prost crossed the finish line, or start-finish line, at the point of interest. And no degradation on the left, or like no running wide on the left-hand side there. And it seems like there's just no damage whatsoever, so it must be just because of some intense racing. But then that doesn't make sense how Snowball lost or got a puncture, because Snowball wasn't fighting with anyone. Anyway, Shoesnacker trying to get into P9 ahead of Snowball, and does so by going around the outside and holding on to DRS in the activation zone. Tundra might actually push Soft Paws out of the points, giving Mercedes Petronas no points at the end of this race. Wheeler Wolf manages to overtake Lewis Ham by the chicane, the stupid chicane placed between two DRS straights. What would I have placed there? Probably a very, very fast chicane. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I haven't designed a real life track before. By the looks of things, Max Verstappen's current race lead, especially on the slightly newer medium tyres, is incredibly dominant and not going to change anytime soon unless something really big happens. Oliver Behrman, the inside of Soft Paws into P11. Soft Paws is fading on them very old medium tyres. Oh, on the inside line goes Purton Senna to try and get past Fernando Alonso, and does so successfully as well. But Fernando Alonso manages to fight back, and Alonso's going to be getting some points this race, certainly. Whisper will be also getting some points as well. Willow probably not, unfortunately, even though the positions have just swapped over for some races. Alan Prost, who is the other half of Lotus, is not in the best spot. Wow, yes, Snowball and Lauda's position have been completely ruined because of the puncture. Here's Shoesnacker, who tried the inside line on Jake Villeneuve. I don't think that many crashes happen as a result of some drivers like not giving enough space. Even though in one of the theme, or in the theme video, there is one scene where I think that they're in Kota, and one of the drivers didn't give enough space there. But that was at the start, and there was so much sandwiching going on, it was unreal, and that caused a massive crash. But that's sort of what you would expect when you put a massively tight chicane at the very top of a hill at the start of a racetrack. But, you know, track designers do whatever they want to do, quite literally. And a huge battle going on from Willow to Shoesnacker, with Whisper to Shoesnacker. Tundra in the lead of it currently, these 4 drivers who are battling out for better position. Oh my goodness, and a huge crash. We've had the first crash, 5-second time penalty for Jake Villeneuve. No safety car. Jake Villeneuve is on a 10-second time penalty right now. Both the Koenigseggs are right up next to each other. 5-second time penalty as well for Oliver Behrman as a result of just the general congestion. I'm surprised the safety car didn't come out. And who is that going into the pits for damage limitation? That is Whisper Wolf. Oh, that was actually horrendous there. And unfortunately, we can't replay it and get better perspectives on it. And that appears to be the 3rd driver who has had their race just completely ruined by rotten luck. And once again, the actual teammate positions have completely swapped over for Koenigsegg. Fernando Alonso's teammate is Angel Frost. Yeah, Angel Frost. It's double points for Renhout as well. Willow Wolf certainly not happy with the performance of both the Tailwind racers, sandwiched in between both of them as of now. And I guess no DRS, anything else would be madness on the main straight for the Koenigseggs. Alonso trying the outside line and is unable to get past Ayrton Senna. Phoebe Fittipaldi against Nelson Pupket. Pupket should have started making his way through the field, but unfortunately Pupket couldn't as a result of just some unfortunate scenario and a 5-second time penalty. That's Soft Paws in the pits. Soft Paws is in the pits after almost being overtaken by teammate Lewis Ham on the hard tyres. Fernando Alonso is up into P5 again, but Ayrton Senna literally snatches it back the next second. Whisper and Soft Paws both don soft tyres. So assuming that a safety car comes about or the medium tyres become incredibly weak and they can actually take the soft tyres to the end of the race, which seems plausible, but it seems as if the soft tyres will be very weak by the end of the race, or at least towards the end of the race. They might be able to get some decent points as a result. Macho Gatto still not able to perform better than his teammate as of now. Gatto is up into the points after overtaking Willow, giving Ferrari a double points. Pedro Rojo, Ferrari and Renhout are double points, and there goes Willow back up into P10. This is where you want to be fighting for, but regardless, Jake Villeneuve will drop down several positions, literally just giving some of the drivers behind points. And Goldie Iris, with the unfortunate 5-second time penalty, is up into the points. The soft tyre strategy appears to be working for these 2 drivers. For Goldie Iris. So maybe it might work for Willow and Soft Paws. Who knows in the future? I think Soft Paws managed to overtake Post as a result. Iris isn't having the best turnout, but I think that Iris's skill is less than Lauda. The combined skill of both the Barclarens isn't the highest. But still, there's no boundary between threshold, or no threshold between championship title contention or anything like that. So there's just boundaries between mid packs and low packs. And with DRS open for the first time in a century, Willow Wolf is up into P9, and now just has a gap to close down to Michael Schumacher, which I think that was as a result of the huge crash that happened on the entrance to the hotel, or the hotel area. Why did they put a hotel on a racetrack? I don't know. But then again, why did some people put a fake pool with a bunch of fake super yachts on a racetrack as well? I don't know. People are weird sometimes, me included. Goldie Iris. Actually, Jake Villeneuve has fallen back a couple positions now, so it's just the sole position that the car ends up in will result in where they come in at the end of the race. Willow Wolf is under pressure by Goldie Iris, who's on the soft tyres. Soft tyres will wear out eventually, and Iris is up into P9. I'm pretty sure that Willow will not have DRS there. That is Snowball and... no, wait a minute. No, that's Whisper and Lewis Ham sparring against each other. The Koenigsegg will actually get DRS around here and increases the position. Max Verstappen is also closing into Bark Lauder. I mean, at this point in time, it's just one driver in the lead. Actually, this is the first time that something like this has happened, really, and it's lasted for such a long time. And I mean, in this day and age, with respect to like actual F1, Fortune could not have picked a better driver, I think. Regardless, them tyres on Bark Lauder must be getting incredibly old, and we really should start pitting soon. Lauder will unfortunately be overlapped as a result and probably won't be able to undo it, which is unfortunate for a driver who was competing at around P7 to P4, 3 towards the start of the race before unfortunately getting a massive puncture. Gatto still not in the points, but this train of Iris, Willow and Gatto should hopefully constructively interfere with each other and close down the gap to Shoesnacker. And that was Pupket ahead, charging past Fittipaldi and Barksall, like at least trying to get some points for the very unfortunate Wolf Williams, who actually wound up with the worst combined skill level as a team. Tailwind Racing also, the team who's in P2, currently out of the points. That is Bark Lauder in the pits. Nelson Pupket will have to fight his way through both the Tailwind Racing, and even after doing so, will Bark Lauder be able to climb up high enough to get points? No idea. Gatto has passed Iris and Willow, and should probably be able to close down the gap to Shoesnacker. I don't think that there's enough time, there's not enough laps for Gatto to fight back. This could have just been an unfortunate track here, but I am making a case to see... actually, I should probably refine the case based on particular track. But I mean, like, then again, tons of freakish events could induce a car getting a higher position after starting last. Alan Porsche is also in the pits as well. Second driver who... No, Porsche didn't encounter a puncture. But I mean, like, in the previous race, there was 2 pit stops that happened sort of at the same time, and also a safety car, which certainly helped Oliver Behrman's massive position gain. But then Jake Villeneuve, no idea how he managed to get from last to first, because it didn't really rain. Well, I mean, it did rain at the end of the race, but in this race it shall not rain, so that's probably moving the advantage away from Macho Gatto. The gap has closed down significantly between both the Ferraris, assuming that the Bark Lauder and Koenigsegg can stick together. A not so fortunate turnout for Mercedes Petronas and the other Koenigsegg, Whisper, Whisper is gaining a few positions here, so might end up getting double points for the Koenigsegg's, maybe. But I mean, right now Willow isn't in the points, but is at the same time because of Iris's 5-second time penalty, which is really unfortunate for the Barclarans that that has afflicted them. Here is Whisper, who tried to go for the inside line around. Actually, I think did get the inside line around Parquet, maybe? I'm not sure. There's just groups of cars that are constantly battling and jostling for position. It is really difficult for me to commentate on every single thing. Or every single thing at the same time. Tuxedo Noki is looking very close to Sebastian Vettel. So, I mean, maybe there might be a position change there. I mean, it is looking within 1 second up top. So, but no DRS as of yet. Whisper in P13. Alan Paul sets the fastest second sector. I mean, the best thing that Barclarans can do now, I guess, is go for fastest lap, because they can't really do anything else. And I mean, with fastest lap, that will put them on the list, because I mean, teams that don't have points and drivers that don't have points, I haven't put on the list purely because I mean they're all just joint last at this rate. Alan Post sets the fastest lap for now, but that is almost definitely. That will probably be subject to change later on. And there's current race leader Max Verstappen. Looking back, Tuxedo Noki, former fastest lap holder, is certainly within DRS range now of the Pedal Rojo, trying to remove that 1-2 from Pedal Rojo. Yeah, I wonder if there's like some sort of statistic I had in here that tells me whether or not, or like how many 1-2s a team has gotten. No, I don't think so. And I mean, to be honest, I don't really care if there is. Yeah, there isn't, so. Oh, actually, that seems like a problem for Barclauder. If Barclauder's going to try and go for fastest lap, Barclauder has to slow up as a result of being blue flagged for obviously being overlapped and all that. Willow in P9 ahead of Gatto, probably not for long, but Shoe Snacker is now finally involved in the battle. Two Ferraris, a Koenigsegg, and a Barclaren who might get, no, actually probably won't get points because of the 5-second time penalty. The other Koenigsegg, actually, Willow Whisper in P12 is not that far behind herself, so the Koenigsegg's might actually be able to, get better position. Probably not double points, as they would hope, but like serious damage limitation with what has happened in a quite tragic race here and there. I mean, not that it was disappointing or anything, just that it was unfortunate for several drivers who just got affected by a huge series of bad luck. Lewis Ham is yet to pit and is in P20 behind Sally Snowball, who had a horrible puncture, removing Snowball from P1. I didn't do that gender thing. I should probably get to that. Alonso looking for P5 still against Purton Senna, and actually Tuxedo Noki. I mean, I might have missed that, but Tuxedo Noki is into P2, removing Pedro Rojo's 1-2. For now, that might change. I don't know why I keep saying something probabilistic and something deterministic, or like definitive even, back to back, because that just contradicts itself. and inside line has Sebastian Vettel and also has DRS, but Noki is able to fight back with an incredible level of skill there. I think that's all down to skill. Goldie Iris is, the gap between both the Ferraris is quite large, but that was a huge burst of speed for the lot of them, hopefully grouping them together. They're just incredibly close together now. And that was Nelson Puckett, who just overtook Kitty's Softpaws. Puckett is most likely not going to get any points. Paw sets the fastest first sector. Senna has been overtaken by Tundra. Tundra is now joining the battle. Oh, goodness. But I mean, regardless, loads of points for Lotus Whiskers, which is definitely what they're after. After not the greatest start to the season, Tuxedo Noki leads Sebastian Vettel. There's still like 12-13 laps left, so again, anything can happen at this rate. The gap between Noki and Sebastian Vettel to Verstappen is closing ever so slowly, but ever so certainly as well. Both the Klornogsags are currently out of the points, but will move into the points with the time penalty. Willow might want to trade positions for, well, just because Whisper is on soft tyres, but them soft tyres might actually diminish with strength, because they were put on a little over 20 laps from the ending of the race. Here's Whisper right now, and here's another group that I get confused because their names are incredibly similar. They both begin with W and they're both wolves. The Klornogsags are able to get their way past the McLaren and now have the Ferraris to deal with. Gatto is ahead of Alonso? How did this happen? Fernando Alonso has, and Roxy Tundra and Person Senna has joined this battle. This battle is going on from P12 to now P6 actually, and oh my goodness, we were 3 wide there with who is that? I think that's Willow, who was in the middle there. The Klornogsags are in double points. Fernando Alonso is unfortunately out again of the points. That might just be to old medium tyres there. But even then, there's nothing you can really do about it now, apart from pit to soft tyres, which is a bit radical. But it might work. Who knows, because none of the drivers are actually doing it. Oh my goodness. Someone actually knows how to shut a door now. Might have been watching my YouTube videos and all of the annoyance I get from when they don't shut a door. Regardless, that is Shoe Snacker, who's been thrown down to P10. Whisper is up into P7. Actually, who knows where they're going to finish, because this is just a huge battle of back and forth. Sebastian Vettel is in P2 again, or regains P2. This is something that we want to see, and maybe it's going to start spreading to, or maybe this battle will start spreading to some of the drivers in higher positions. Because right now the highest position in this battle is P5 by Gatto. It might actually spread to P4, being Frost. It's looking incredibly close, but Gatto is putting the pressure on finally, and might actually start using the differential setup. This is Bark Louder trying to get past. That's not paused. Who is that? Oh no, that must be someone quite high up. They're behind a. Oh, it's Puckett. It's Nelson Puckett. Oh, right. I don't remember the helmet colours for Wolf Williams, or at least I haven't been able to remember them. big battle between Senna and Iris, and that actually gave Iris a massive boost of momentum to get past Willow. Senna has also gotten past Willow. I'll master commentating eventually. I don't think I have as of yet, but that's not really under my opinion to judge myself. Do with that as you will. Sally Snowball. Nothing better to do but fight against Alan Prost for just a better position. Sally Snowball goes fastest in the second sector. In terms of points, actually, the two Klonigsags are in first and third, I think. Yeah. But Noki will probably come out on top here, even though Verstappen and Sebastian Vettel are currently ahead of Noki. Whisper is in P5. Gatto is in P4. Gatto might actually win the race. There is a strong possibility that Gatto might win the race here. Willow is under real pressure this time because of soft paws. It might have actually been beneficial to let Whisper past initially. Willow is on old medium tyres. Soft paws is on relatively old soft tyres. And then this is a driver between someone who's been lapped and someone really far back in the pack. Why are we being shown this? Because it's just a battle that's happening that doesn't really affect anything as of right now. Yes, this battle goes on from Willow in P11, actually Senna, maybe even Fittipaldi in P13, all the way up to P3. Whisper is currently in P3 after throwing the racing paw Tuxedo Noki off of the podium. And oh, shut up. I have not gotten that notification for ages, and actually I do remember it showing up a couple of times in some of my very old videos. Gatto and Whisper might make it 3 wide here as they try and get past Sebastian Vettel. That might have been ERS there for Whisper. And Sebastian Vettel has gone from 2nd to 4th as of now. This could just be new tyres, but I think in Gatto's perspective, probably the setup. I think that the setup is really overpowered. Max Verstappen, who's held onto the race race lead for a very long time. Actually, when Snowball had a puncture, it was Verstappen versus Sebastian Vettel for the race lead, with Verstappen winning that battle. Willow, Frost and Soft Paws have been able to sort of clear themselves away from or the danger zone, at least, where they're not going to get any points. This battle is so close to the race leader. It is incredible. Tuxedo Noki goes into the pits. That is very radical there. Goldie Iris also goes into the pits. It might be a bit beneficial. Fernando Alonso also goes into the pits. This is something we kind of want to see, but it would have been better if it happened a couple more laps ago. Just to give the racers a little bit more time. That does mean that Mercedes Petronas are well into the points with Kitty Softballs in P5. Double points currently for Koenigsegg, Pero Rojo. Unfortunately, not anymore for Wolf Williams, Renault or Ferrari. No, Ferrari are in double points because of Schumacher and Gatto. And the gap is now below 3 seconds between Verstappen and P2. Macho Gatto, again, might be the second driver to go from last to first, meaning that in the next season I will most certainly have to nerf the speed grip setup that the driver in last place acquires. I mean, I might just say, forget it, you're just on 0. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, depending on how many views this gets and how many likes and how much support this entire season or series gets, that will determine how or like, well, I mean, what you guys think as a collective will determine what influence what I do to sort of make it even more fair, because starting last has just been absolutely OP. In the entire dataset, only one driver has been unable to convert a race or a last place beginning to a race win, assuming that Gatto can win this race, which is possible. I said Gatto, really weird. Gato, Spanish for cat. Assuming that Macho Gatto can actually win. Kitty Softpaws, pole sitter, was in a horrible position earlier. I think like really close to P20 and all that. Is now up into P4. An incredible charge. Here's the Clonixarg, Willow Wolf, behind like sort of a mini pack here of Sebastian Vettel and Roxy Tundra, with Tundra seeking the inside line for a better position ahead of Sebastian Vettel. Oh, and actually does so. Willow was ahead of Tundra for a moment. These Titans fought valiantly in the very first race, and we're not interested in this battle. Willow Wolf is up into P5, and Whisper is pitting. Whisper might have just thrown away a podium finish for the Clonixargs. Anyway, where is Whisper right now? Whisper is in P12. No, P13. Whisper has 15-ish seconds to gain on newer soft tyres, I imagine. Wait a minute, Whisper's on medium tyre. Why did Whisper pit for medium tyres? What was Whisper on originally? It was medium tyres, right? Or it could have been soft tyres. Oh my goodness, the Clonixargs have lost their double points. What I'm actually going to do now as well is, because I've reminded myself, disable safety car, because in the result of a crash, the race will probably end in this current order. Macho Gatto is in P1, and that right there was Shoe Snacker overtaking Sebastian Vettel. Also, Phoebe Fittipaldi managed to overtake Sebastian Vettel at the same time. Macho Gatto is in the lead of the race from last all the way to first. I really do need to nerf it. I either need to nerf it or just set it all to 0. I should probably set it to 0, but I think I'll base it off of my own decision, unless the viewers who watch this series have very strong opinions on what should be done. Oh, that's Bark Louder. I was just like, why is Bark Louder like really high up? Sebastian Vettel is also pitting. Is currently on soft tyres. What will Sebastian Vettel come out on? More soft tyres. Well, why didn't Whisper do that? Whisper is technically now in the points, but really threw away a good opportunity unless Whisper can somehow manage to convert it into a really good outcome. Tuxedo Noki did also do quite a radical pit onto soft tyres. Angel Frost as well, losing out there. Willow sort of lost out. Willow is the current championship leader, followed by Oliver Behrman, I think. And then Whisper Wolf. Whisper Wolf is in P9, and that's a confirmed P9. Oh my goodness. Yeah, now we're below halfway. Right, turns out like the medium tyre was not that bad. Personally, I thought it should have been something else. And it is a triple Spanish driver on the grid. Macho Gatto in P1, followed by Kitty Softpaws, also Spanish, and actually from the same universe as Gatto, in P2. And Max Verstappen, P3. It is actually Ferrari, Mercedes Petronas, and Perro as well. That's actually, I think, quite an iconic sight. And what an interesting way to almost bring this race to a close, even though it's not completely done yet. there's still a lot that can happen. Who's going to take fastest lap from Alan Prost? Where will Whisper come out? Whisper is right behind, with DRS wide open miraculously, right behind Willow. Tuxedo Noki is looking very big behind Max Verstappen's mirrors. Tuxedo Noki has DRS wide open, but I think Verstappen, to try and hold off, was using ERS, and it cuts to something else. Noki is up into P3. What was a Perorojo 1-2 is now no more whatsoever. Bark Louder is unfortunately really far out of any decent finish. Lewis Ham is midway through the second sector. Bark Louder is in the third sector. So, Bark Louder is sufficiently lost. Whisper Wolf is ahead of Willow, who's unfortunately in P8, and is really doing a good job on their medium tyres. I am thoroughly impressed, because I would not have done that. I would have gone for soft tyres and smashed the pack even faster. Fernando Alonso also fighting back in the points in P7. Goldie Iris is in the point, or provisional points, depends on where that 5-second time penalty is going to take Goldie Iris. I think that this is one hell of a valiant effort from Goldie Iris to try and convert what is a horrible situation that Bar Clarence are in into at least some points, or at least trying to get some points. The best thing that the Bar Clarence can do, I think, is get fastest lap. I mean, if they get lucky and wind up with a pole position, then instantly they would be in the money or in the points. Tuxedo Noki leads the race. He is currently leading ahead of Macho Gatto. And actually, Gatto is currently the first driver to go from last to be in first without a time penalty, which is, I guess, somewhat important. But I mean, I think it just goes to show that the tailwind races are quite messy. Getting 5-second time penalties in this race, actually both of them have it in this race, and in the previous 2 races as well. Whisper Wolf is trying to close down to soft pause and wind up with another podium finish. Shoesnacker goes into the pits. Sally Snowball, puncture halfway through the race, is in P13, 2 places behind Sebastian Vettel, unfortunately. Willow Wolf is earing on the edge of points, but Goldie Iris is earing into points and might actually wind up scoring points with respect to the 5-second time penalty. It all depends what's going to happen. This is the penultimate lap. Snowball is desperately trying to claw her way past Angel Frost. And with the inside line, appears to have gotten past, yes. And it's up into P12. Actually, there was one part of my microphone setting that I didn't configure. Whisper Wolf is now now has the opportunity to fight against one of the most infamous drivers in the entire pack as an incredible race performance. That is Macho Gatto. The reason why he's infamous is because he's gone from last to currently a podium finish. Now might actually be the first driver to go from last to not wind up on the podium, as Whisper Wolf takes 3rd position on the final lap. Tuxedo Noki with the fastest first sector as of now. Tuxedo Noki must be trying to get the fastest lap back. Fernando Alonso steals the fastest first sector. Where is Noki? Noki is... Snowball is out of the points. Noki... Where is Tuxedo Noki? Why can't I... Oh, no, Noki's in P1, idiot. And is, so far ahead. Whisper Wolf might end up with a 2nd P2 as of right now, just after overtaking Kitty Softpaws. Turns out that pit was very good, but I think it obviously must have been much better on soft tyres. 5-second time penalty for Oliver Behrman after causing some collision. No idea who the collision is with. Soft Paws Alonso and Gatto, the three of them battling it out for at least just better points, and the final position on the podium. Soft Paw's pole sitter is at least on the podium, and Tuxedo Noki wins in Abu Dhabi. Yes, Marina. Whisper Wolf for the second time winds up with a P2, and Fernando Alonso scores first points in P3 on the podium. Pole sitter Kitty Softboys winds up in P4. Gatto in P5 is Iris. Iris has done sufficient work to get points for Bar Clement. Unfortunately, no points for Wolf Williams. Willow Wolf is also out of the points as well. Sally Snowball is in the points. Fastest lap once again to Michael Schumacher, assuming that any other driver will have something to say about that. Maybe Jake Villeneuve will say something about it. Or Lewis Ham, who has stuck on hard tyres for the entire race. And yeah, Jake Villeneuve is not able to take fastest lap. Michael Schumacher takes the fastest lap, and Macho Gatto is the first driver to go from last all the way up to being in first and not wind up on the podium. What a race finish. P5 for Gatto it was. But an incredible performance for the Kornexargs after being able to fight back. Whisper Wolf is not the highest skilled driver in Kornexarg. That goes to Whisper. But that is just an incredibly surprising performance. I think Tuxedo Noki as well, not the most dominant driver of Noki and Snowball, but was able to win. And this here is the final setup. Goldie Iris is in the points, fortunately for Bar Clown. Unfortunately, Nelson Puckett was not able to climb back into the points for Wolf Williams. Michael Schumacher makes it a double points for Ferrari with fastest lap. And that is it. An incredible race we've had. Double points for Racing Paw. Unfortunately not for Renhout. Double points also for Pedro Rojo. And also Ferrari as well. I think I said that some other time in the race somewhere. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you have been watching, please leave a like, comment and subscribe. Hit the notification bell as well so you won't miss out on any new videos coming in Formula Paw and in the Minecraft 121 server. I'm pretty sure we've hit like our sort of what do we do now situation, because we are a little bit lost for ideas. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I need to do a bunch of statistics that will go at the end of this little clip if you want to see the positions of where all the drivers are. If technology gets an awful lot better, then you will have a better understanding of where all the drivers are in the standings. But for technology to get better, you must first subscribe. It's not a must. Subscribing is completely free. It just helps me out a ton. For the third time again, thanks for watching. I am out of breath.